if he can use cards to play around
Valkyrus.
the Valkyrus. But obviously, Matteo is not going to let that happen. He's going to be playing the Maxx C.
Yeah, that would be the moment in time.
So can he play around this here? Does he have a Valkyrus as well? Yeah, okay, so he can, but he already used his 12. Oh, that's damaging. So the way to play around Maxx C in this matchup is so that you don't leave cards on the field. You usually send a 12 so that you can summon Unicorn and Valkyrus, which is one summon, and then you can
tribute them both away.
Yeah, well, you do give your opponent another card by overlaying into like a Ghost of Emerald or something.
Yeah.
And then tributing them both away. That's like the easiest way to get rid of 3 monsters. But why is Kaleidoscope still on the field? It has resolved. Okay, it's gone now.
All right, and we will need to restart quickly, and we're going to be offline for 2 minutes apparently, and that's the only way to get the stream going again.
Yep.
So if you things are going lights out, no, that's what we have to do, guys.
Okay, so Piran here is, he's playing through this Maxx C in the hope to just win this turn.
Right.
He's taking the Maxx C challenge, as some people call it.
Yeah, but that's only really good if your opponent doesn't have Valkyrus, right?
Yep.
Oh, well, no, Valkyrus targets in the graveyard. But both of these conditions have been fulfilled.
Yeah.
And the one way to play around it, at least from a while ago, that has been, these guys have been telling me, has been, I think, Gungnir, right?
Yeah.
So you can get rid of the attacker.
Yeah.
But Piran,
he's not. He does play it, I think. No, he doesn't.
he doesn't even play Gungnir.
No, doesn't even side it.
Right, so no Gungnir for Piran means bad news for all the Germany fans.
Yeah, but it's possible that he has so little cards in his hand here that he's going to be able to... Masquerade, of course. He can overlay into 104 Masquerade, and that's going to just get him through Valkyrus.
Oh, there's an option I didn't see.
Yeah, I forgot about that hat tricker. So they're going to have a read of Masquerade now. Let's just get the card text up for you.
Wow, so Piran going for the Valkyrus challenge.
Yeah, so basically Masquerade during the battle phase, if an opponent's monster effect's activated, you can detach a material from Masquerade, negate it, and inflict a 800 to your opponent.
So you're doing even more damage this way. Matteo is still...
Yeah, that's actually like 8,000, exactly.
Matteo's double checking. Well, wait a second. If that was 8,000, exactly. If he doesn't drop Valkyrus, doesn't he survive then? Are you?
No, without the 800.
Without the 800 burn. Okay. Wow.
So 9,000 exactly.
Piran found the perfect way to work around the Maxx C challenge, and even Ryan, who was taking down the contents of the hands of these players, our volunteer, couldn't stop smiling, walking away from the table, and giving these guys a little bit of time.
Yeah,
wow!
So that was amazing.
That was absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
fascinating. Piran coming up with the perfect out in this situation.
So we said at the start of this game, was this clowning around if Piran's going to be able to really, do anything to get him ahead of Matteo here? The answer, yes.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's got an answer in his side deck, in his extra deck again, and that is always a very, very big deal. That you don't need to use any of your main deck slots to come up with another answer. You can instead just rely on a card that comes from your side deck.
From the extra deck. So let's have a look at the options here. So Matteo is actually running Droll and Lockbird for the Droll and Lockbird combo. He's running Triple Deck Lockdown, Vanity's Emptiness. Yeah, he's running the Droll and Lockbird and Deck Lockdown. So for those who don't know about the Droll and Lockbird combo, Artifact Durandal has 2 effects. It's a rank 5 monster. It has 2 effects. One of them, both of them activate whenever your opponent plays a spell or trap card. You can. No, I think it's just any time. Yeah. So sorry. One of them is that when your opponent plays an effect, you can change that effect into the effect to destroy one of your spell or trap cards, or the other effect is that you can make both players add all of their hand back to their deck and then draw the cards again. But the way that it works is if your opponent adds a card to their hand with like Bryanak or something like that, you can play the cards in such a way. So you play Droll and Lockbird as Chainlink 2 and Artifact Durandal as Chainlink 1. So Droll and Lockbird resolves when they've added the card to the hand. Droll and Lockbird will resolve, which makes it so they can't draw cards anymore. And then Artifact Durandal resolves, which makes them shuffle their hand back into their deck, and then they can't draw. So they basically lose their entire hand, and then you get to redraw your hand.
That sounds like a pretty good combo.
Yeah, and some people may immediately be like, "Oh, well, Artifact Durandal, how do you summon that in a Nekroz deck?" Well, you've got Telemite Ptolemaeus that can do that, which is just a rank 4 monster.
It's pretty easy to summon, yeah.
Yeah, so even if you can just leave Ptolemaeus on the field, and then as soon as your opponent activates a card that would add a card to their hand, you just detach off Ptolemaeus, bring your Durandal down, and then at that point they know that they're not gonna have a good time.
All right, so that is the first game for Piran and Asci. Both of these guys are hard at work side decking here.
Yep.
Out are gonna go the MSTs, I presume. Or is there
Most likely, yeah.
Is there something that you feel that your opponent is gonna introduce from the side deck where you want to keep the MST?
No, there's nothing apart from maybe Vanity's Emptiness.
Yeah, a straight no, but there are always other ways to pop a Vanity's Emptiness.
Yeah.
At least most of the time.
Yeah. So actually, looking at Piran's deck list, he does side a Nekroz of Gungnir. Didn't spot that before. So he does have that copy. He seems to have. So it's quite strange to see when people side decks whether they have a really small amount of cards played at 3, or this, as we see for Piran's, quite a wide variety of cards being played at 1 and 2.
Yeah, with just one card being played in 3s, and that's the Droll and Lockbird.
Yeah. So he's also playing the Droll and Lockbird combo. So we may be in for a very short game.
And it's interesting to see that Nekroz is always finding these combos that can finish games a lot earlier than they should.
Yep.
Yeah, but you can't help but feel impressed, at least. That is me, with Piran and Asci.
Yeah, the Masquerade.
Yeah, coming up with a great play to easily just attack through Valkyros.
Yeah, so your new Fantasy Yu-Gi-Oh player is, doing you proud at the moment.
Yeah, as always. Piran is a very, very nice guy. You should totally talk to him. When you're playing against him, well, chances are he's going to give you a real challenge, but he's a very nice guy, and you can normally talk to him and get some advice on how to improve your game.
Yep. So I'm like itching to see if one of these guys have Droll and Lockbird in their opening hand.
Yeah, so far, no. Piran's got a Unicorn Valkyros, Senju of the 1,000 Hands, per 4-mage damage juggler, and a great sorcerer of the Nekroz.
Okay, so here we see the Senju.
Yep, whereas Matteo is left
Opening here with
Trishula, Closelos, Bryanak, Maxx C, and Book of Moon.
Yeah. So, as I was saying before, the way to play around Maxx C in this matchup is to have both Valkyros and Unicorn in your hand. Even then, it's not really. It's like, you're not.
It's not that much playing.
It's not
around.
optimal.
Yeah. It's just like damage, limiting the damage, basically.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I suppose it is optimal. It's the best you can do after you've played Kaleidoscope.
All right, and this time, but it seems like the opening hand that that Piran is boarding is a lot better than last time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he has a Manjo or a Senju. It's kind of immediately better.
All right. What is he going to go for here? How is he going to follow it up?
So, yeah, as I say, he's probably going to end up with the Kaleidoscope play and then trying to clear his board after using a Valkyrus. So that kind of thins your deck quite a bit and allows you to use the mirrors in your graveyard. So that just crafts your hand into that perfect answer. But no, that's okay. So Piran seems to have passed. Yeah, it seems like quite a strange move. I kept doing this loads, even back when we had the Dojin lock.
You're right.
If you just summon a Senju or a Manju, the chance of them being able to OTK through it is not very likely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's only 1400, but still,
Yeah.
they've got to have like a really good hand to be able to OTK just over a Senju, and the key part of this is that even if they destroy the Senju, you still don't have any cards on field or graveyard for Trishula. So yeah, it's a good play just to summon a Senju or a Manju.
All right. And what is Matteo going to do then? Is he not going to push for like lots of damage instead?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He'll give it a go. He'll try and put as much damage on board as possible. So let's take a look at his hand. Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can put a decent amount on board here. The only mirror he's missing is Kaleidoscope, but he's probably going to cycle Shurit for Valkyrus. Yeah, so Shurit for Valkyrus.
Mm-hmm.
Shurit's effect. Shurit's effect, probably get Klausulus. Or Bryanek.
Bryanek, yeah.
Same thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Bryanek is just every single Nekroz card.
Yeah. It's such an iconic card that like never really gets played itself. It just gets discarded straight to the graveyard.
Yep. Unless you're against Burning Abyss. So let's see where he decides to go with this. He's just going to attack the Valkyries.
Yeah, so
okay.
No OTK, just as you predicted.
So, Nekroz of Bryanek, I think, did he already use that one to get the Klausulus? No, not to get the Klausulus, he got something else with it this turn.
What was his opening? Sometimes we wish for a replay here. But,
wow. Okay, that's quite strange. He's attributing Trishula and Valkyrus. But still gets the Valkyrus off the field, so let's see what he draws here.
There's no Bryanek in the graveyard.
Yeah, so he didn't use Bryanek earlier on the turn. So that means that, you know, if he didn't draw a Valkyrus, then he can just search for one. Piran seems to be doing some pen tricks.
Yeah, he's gonna pen Dilum Summon.
Oh god, that was a good one. That was a good one. I'll laugh about that one later.
Yeah, Piran's just sitting there, biding his time. He's like, just let me start, please. But what is the shape of his hand here? Like, is it giving him a lot of options?
Piran?
Yeah,
Oh,
Piran.
yep, definitely.
With the Bryanek, of course.
Yeah, so Unicorn, Valkyrus, Bryanek, the Great Sorcerer, and Damage Juggler. So having Great Sorcerer in hand is nowhere near as bad as having Exa.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
And Matteo ended with one set card. I presume that is the Book of Moon.
Yeah.
Because it's very unlikely that he's... Yeah, it is. That he set the Nekroz Mirror. So just a Book of Moon on the field. And do you want to keep a Book of Moon on the field?
It's okay to have that on the field. Generally, you'll have something else before you play Trishula.
Mm-hmm.
But he could just play Trishula here, and then that would be quite bad for Matteo.
Right. So let's see if Piran can find a way to come up with that play.
So he's just thinking now, how do I get to my ritual spells? Because he doesn't have any right now. Because his only move to begin with was that Senju. So, yeah, so a lot of people think, oh, well, you know, you must just attack and get rid of your opponent as soon as possible. But in the Nekroz match, it's not necessarily the case. You want to keep a hold of your ritual summons right to the end. Also, as we see him scrolling through his deck there, he does have some Droll and Lockbirds.
Yeah, there's a card he wouldn't mind drawing.
Yeah.
He finds a Clausulus. Not
Yep.
that surprising.
No.
And he doesn't even shuffle his deck because...
He knows he's going back in.
Yeah.
So here's the Nekroz Kaleidoscope, and he has the Maxx C for it. He does have a Valkyrus and a Unicorn, so he could send a 12 here, which is indeed what he's going to do. We're going to see that Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon once more being sent to Piran's graveyard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems to be like he's performing that move a little bit more often than other players we've seen this weekend.
Well, we've not much...
Never seen a Nekroz mirror.
Yeah, but it's not just that, but Maxx C, people have just never seemed to have Maxx C when we've seen this move, to be honest. Which, you know, it's just unfortunate that we've not seen that, but it is the viable play to try and stop the Maxx C play. So he's going to play Book of Moon on the Valkyrus here. That's probably to stop its
from
effect.
triggering, yeah. And that means Piran is again open to Trishula.
Yeah. We've not seen Trishula.
But didn't Matteo discard it?
Yeah, he did, but that's fine because Cycle should be able to get it back. Oh, by the looks of it, Matteo drew Exa, which isn't pleasant at all.
Yeah, not yet anyway. Sometimes you don't mind drawing it too much.
Nope.
But most of the time it's not exactly what you want to do with this card.
No, it's all not at all.
All right, so this is one of these wars of attrition. That's how it feels.
Yeah.
Both players playing at a very deliberate pace, not trying to be super quick because they don't want to make a mistake that will cost them the game.
Yeah, it's a very important match.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you're not aware of all the psychology that goes into this match, it is a lot less interesting to watch it. Like, you need to know, why is this an important play? Why is a Book of Moon on a Valkyrus suddenly a big deal?
Yeah.
That you cannot tribute the monsters away, which in turn leaves you open to a Trishula and so on. So I think that's one of the things that really separates the experienced players from someone who was like been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! A little bit more at the kitchen table rather than at the bigger events.
Yeah. So here we see Piran trying to deliberate a move. There's like some crazy plays he can make to try and clear his field. He can summon Great Sorcerer and summon a Diamond Direwolf, for example, to destroy his own face-down Valkyrus. There's like, there's some real crazy stuff he can do.
Yeah, and eventually Piran just gives up.
Passes. Okay. So this is going to be the time, I think.
Yeah, and says, okay, I'm just gonna stick with it. I got this field. I'm open to Trishula. Just do what you gotta do. And
so I don't think he can actually play Trishula here.
He's desperately missing something to go searching, doesn't he?
Yeah, just as a single Bryanak. Yeah, I don't know what he's going to be able to do here. That he almost certainly can't play Trishula. I'm just trying to work this out in my head. Whereabouts Trishula might be coming from. But at the moment, I can't see a direction in which you'll be able to get that.
So what exactly are the options of Matteo here?
So Yeah, he's going to be able to try and summon a Gungnir using the Shurret that's in his grave. I think the second card in is a Shurret. He's going to be able to Shurret and do it that way. Obviously, the basic Kaleidoscope play comes out here, but it's after that that's kind of the important part. He doesn't really have too much in his hand that's in the way of summoning anything good. Oh, okay, well, hold on. So,
Wait a
there we
second.
go. Off he goes. So, yeah, he's going to get another Unicorn. But he already... No, he hasn't used Unicorn's effect yet. So, okay, there we go. Yeah, so he can discard Unicorn to get Trishula back from the graveyard, then use Nekroz Mirror. Yeah, there we go.
So he finally found a way to
Yeah, he found a way.
play
So,
Trishula.
yeah. So, he's going to once more find his graveyard there. He's going to discard the Unicorn, go get a Trishula. There we go.
This is the one time.
I had a feeling there was going to be a way.
Yeah, but this is going to be the one time when the plays are happening a lot faster, because Matteo is 100% certain. Yes, this is what I'm going to go for here.
Yeah, hopefully.
Rather than deliberately, yeah, taking his time and everything.
Okay, 5 and 4. That's great because he's going to be able to use X's effect as well. So Trishula's effect.
Yeah,
there we go.
There
So
is the boss monster.
this isn't the first time we've seen Trishula's effect being resolved.
And
He just assumes that he's getting rid of Kaleidoscope.
pretty fair assumption.
Yeah. Oh, that's unpleasant.
And a Brian Egg. Wow. Good hits.
Yeah, some really good hits.
So suddenly Piran not only wide open.
Yeah, and his X's effect. X's effect allows him to go and search for a dragon type ritual monster, which he doesn't seem to have. He must have side decked it out. Yeah, it does. He does have it in his main deck, so maybe he side decked it out and just forgot. Unless it's mandatory. Like I can't remember the text.
Most of the cards that allow you to search your deck for a card, you don't have to find one.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you do, but most of the time you don't.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's mandatory or not.
Right, so now we got a Trishula on the field, together with Unicorn. That's a pretty good field. Trishula attacking over Unicorn, and then Unicorn following suit. And Piran Asci's left with just a little bit more than 3,000 life points, I think. Well, yeah, 3,800, close enough. And with that, with a breakthrough skill and the Nekroz of Gungnir in hand, Matteo is going to pass the turn. And breakthrough skill is going to be the important card here, allowing you to foil an opponent's monster's effect.
Yep. So if there's any Manju or Sinju plays coming out here. Okay, so here we see some clown shenanigans. He's going to be able to play Foolish Burial on Triclown. Unless he's going to be... I think he's going to go for a clown play. He's going to go look for that Triclown.
Yeah, there's...
Or Shurret to make a play with that, but...
You can't help but feel bad if you're rooting for Matteo here. So he just applied some pressure and brought order to the table. He's now on the upper hand, and suddenly there comes a circus into town. They're just running wild.
Yeah, so Piran sending the Triclown to the grave. He's going to pay 1,000. Doesn't pay 1,000 life points. He loses 1,000 life points to be able to summon that Triclown. He also has a Hat Tricker, or it could be a Damage Juggler in hand. Either way, he could normal summon it. Just clowning around, spinning around.
So many options.
But whatever he tries to summon here, it doesn't really matter unless it's... Because, I mean, he's...
Not an activated effect.
Well, no, its effect's going to get negated regardless because of Unicorn.
Right.
So he needs something that's bigger. I don't think he plays anything. He actually, yeah, he just searched through all of his extra deck there, and he's only just realized that he doesn't have anything that's going to be able to get over that Unicorn.
Oh
So
my.
he just plays on the defensive.
That's definitely not good.
No.
The only time this is like a somewhat viable choice is when we're going to time. And it doesn't look like that. Let me just quickly check. I have 36 minutes on the clock, roughly. Didn't stop exactly or start exactly the timer when we started the match. So there's a chance we're looking at 3, 4 more minutes, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we've come to a kind of a stalemate here. Neither of these players are really making these massive plays at this point. So we're just gonna have to see what comes out of the next couple of draws for these players to be able to really decide where this match is going. So,
What do you think?
I think Matteo just needs to be able to just, I don't know, honestly, he just needs to attack over these monsters and then pass, and then hopefully his opponent doesn't have any more monsters, and then attack over them, and again, just keep attacking. That's pretty much it. He's in a simplified game state at this point. He's got big monsters. His opponent doesn't have big monsters. That's pretty much it. So he's going to decide whether he wants to pay for the Trick Clown. Yeah, I would, if he draws a Manju or a Senju, then he's going to be able to make a rank 4 play here.
Mm-hmm. Piran immediately checking his graveyard after the draw.
Yeah,
he does have a reinforcement of the army.
Yep. So that is going to be useful if he has a cycle left, because he can go get a Clausulus, and then the Clausulus can go get a cycle, and then cycle will tribute the clown and the sorcerer for Valkyrus, or he can just tribute the sorcerer in his hand for Unicorn.
Hmm.
So let's see which of these options he decides to go with here.
Yeah, both of their respective advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, I think he's probably gonna just discard the sorcerer, because then he can make a rank 4 play, but at the same time getting a Valkyrus out, which is gonna, again, we're in a simple game state here. If he gets a Valkyrus out, which I think he does have, if he doesn't have a Valkyrus. Ah, wait a minute. No, he doesn't have Valkyrus in there. So yeah, his only option is to use the sorcerer, I think. Use the sorcerer to summon the Unicorn.
So not that many options for Piran, but
No.
still a very good one.
Yeah, he has only one option here. Like, he physically can't summon anything else. So
Yeah.
don't know what he's waiting for.
Yeah, and
Yep,
any moment now.
That's a level 4 monster, so he can summon that one.
Yep. Any moment now we should be ending up in time. So this match is gonna come to a close one way or the other.
Mm-hmm. So Great Sorcerer is being tributed here, and we're going to go and search for a Spellcaster type monster. Here we go. So there's the Valkyrus. I honestly have no idea which Exceed monster he plans on summoning. He doesn't have any that's... Okay, the biggest monster that he can make is Constellar Stellanite Diamond. I'm really proud that I managed to actually get that out. Okay, so yeah, he just attacks into the opponent's Unicorn, and Gungnir gets dropped,
comes down, yeah.
which stops the card from being destroyed by battle and by card effects. So yeah, Piranski's options here are just nothing. If we enter time here, then yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
I think it might be about the timeout procedure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but like explaining to the opponent when it's gonna be your last turn or when the opponent is gonna have the last turn, because those are big difference makers. Right, so Piran again just passing with a monster. He hasn't passed yet, but at this point in time he only has one monster.
Yeah, he's scooping up there.
Yeah, okay. So much for that.
Wow, that was a really long game.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And now we're getting extremely close to time.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get an information from our table judge. Ah, okay. Just when I was done typing how much time is left, he immediately told me 1 minute till timeout. All right. So these guys are allowed to side deck because we're not in the timeout yet. But chances are, when we start with the last duel, we are gonna be in time. Okay, I'm just gonna take that back. It's not chances are. It is when we start with this duel, we will be in time.
Yep.
There are no ifs and buts. This is gonna be what it's gonna be. And who is the favorite in a timeout situation?
Yeah, so let's take a look. So Piran Asci is going to be the one that gets to choose who gets to go first here. Now, so let's look at some of the crazy things, like the fact that both of them are playing Cowboy. Yes, they're both playing Cowboy, so if it comes down to that, we're going to see
some hip shooting.
Some hip shooting, yeah.
Yep.
Just like super crazy things like the fact that Matteo is playing Book of Moon. He might be able to Book of Moon a monster to attack over and attack some for damage. Piran's playing Damage Juggler. That might save him from a game attack and then make a rank 4 Cowboy. All these super exciting things.
It's actually impossible to predict how it's going to go. It has a lot to do with what cards they're going to draw into.
Yeah, it's very, very much down to a situation where it's who's going to draw some really good cards. What would be even more epic is if we see one of them open up with the Draw and Lockbird combo, because that would certainly make the timeout situation very short.
Yeah.
So we've just been informed that we're actually the last table in this portion of the tournament.
Okay, so I can tell you guys one thing right ahead. We're not going to do an interview with the winner after this match, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Also, since this is the top 16, we're going to do top 8 player profiles, or, well, rather, Rudy does it because he's providing the written coverage for the event.
Yeah.
That means we also need some time for that, to finish that. And only after that, after we've taken the pictures of these 8 players that will remain after this round, and noted where they are from, what their favorite deck is, and so on, we're going to be able to continue with the top 8. So chances are we're going to have a short break after this match.
Yeah.
Really short.
But we're going to see some real intense Yu-Gi-Oh! About to happen. So we're entering a time situation here. Players are really, really just making sure that they've got the exact 40 cards that they want to play with here.
This is the time when the solemn warnings end up in the side deck, although none of these guys is playing any trap cards, so
yeah,
of course that's not exactly what's going to happen.
And the closest we have to a burn card, apart from Cowboy, is Piran is playing Wavering Eyes, which I don't think is going to be much use in this particular situation.
Not so much, no. Okay, now we're done with the side decking, and it's time to shuffle. After time to shuffle, it's time to duel.
Okay, so shuffle, 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 shuffle. There's not much to talk about here until we see the opening hands of these players. It's just a matter of time now. So Piran Asci is going to get to choose who goes first. So just a quick speculation on that. I can only assume that Piran is going to ask to go second, so that he gets 6 cards rather than the 5.
Well, let's see if he agrees with you. A few months ago, the big question was always like, do you drop a chin on the first turn or not?
Yeah, nowadays.
Yeah, that question is no longer.
Yeah, it's just all about the ability to play around the Maxx C. So yeah, we're just getting even more information kind of fed to us. Just to let you know, my fantasy Yu-Gi-Oh player is still in the tournament. He's made it to the top 8. So that means we're going to have a Cosmo deck in the top 8 of the tournament.
And there's a pretty good chance that we're going to revisit Peter Gross and his Cosmo deck in the next round for our feature match.
Yep.
Because you guys want to see it, as far as I can tell. Don't know his opponent yet, but He's one of the four guys: Patrick Hoffman, Alessandro Garanzini, Alexander Hulch, and Ur Kovacic. One of those guys. And actually, it's just down to two, but I don't have the top 16, the complete top 16 here. All right. Piran's hand is loading in first, and to me, it almost looks like he's gonna. Is he gonna go first?
I don't think that would make much sense for him to go first. But maybe. Wow, that hand's a little rough.
Piran is gonna go first. Interestingly enough.
That hand is certainly a little rough.
Two clowns.
Yeah. So just to explain a little bit how this time procedure is going to work, hopefully I recall this correctly. So they're going to have 2 turns each, 2 end phases each is how it's going to be counted out. And after that time, we're going to compare life points during each end phase, and whoever has the highest life points will win.
And why is this hand so bad for that situation?
To be honest, I wouldn't use the word bad by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not able to dig very far into his deck here. So, okay, so that's a little risky. He's just summoned Senju and passed. But he does have a Performage damage juggler.
Let's bring the damage juggler up for you guys.
Yeah. So the damage juggler is going to be able to be used during the battle phase to reduce the next battle damage to 0 if he's going to take any battle damage. So we'll see if this comes into play. And again, Piran is playing the clowns, whereas Matteo isn't. So we actually see that Matteo's hand does contain the cards to do the draw and lockbird combo, I think. Yes, it does. This could be over very shortly if he manages to get that combo in place.
Right. Let's take a look at Matteo's hand. His opening 6. He does have a draw and lockbird.
Yeah,
just mentioned.
Yeah, so he has to get to Ptolemaeus as well, which to get to that is going to involve him tributing Shurit for a Valkyrus, proceeding to search out the correct card. So he's going to be able to go get Unicorn, and then Clausulus can be discarded to get the Nekroz Kaleidoscope. Or Brian, I get Unicorn as well.
Yeah.
So he might use Valkyrus's effect on the Exa first. So we'll see how this goes. So he drew the draw a lot better. So he could go for this here.
How risky is it?
Well, it's pretty risky because when you make Ptolemaeus, your opponent kind of knows. Your opponent knows that if they decide to add cards to the hand, that they're going to lose all the cards in their hand. So it's fairly obvious, but it's not too it's not too obvious to the point. Like you could easily think, oh, that's just a bluff. No way has he got draw and lockbird. I don't know why he's added that mirror though.
But we got the game psychology, like in the first game, where Piran made it seem like he might have had an Effect Vader in hand.
Yeah.
And his opponent, Matteo, is not going for the Trishula play, which is normally the obvious thing to do.
Yeah.
And so Piran is gaining a big advantage because of that.
Yeah. So Matteo here is just absolutely thinking out this play to make sure that he's getting it 100% correct. I think, I don't want to say that he added the wrong mirror, but
You're not happy with the choice.
yeah, he could have discarded the Brian Act to get the Unicorn. If he's going down the draw and lockbird route, then he definitely added the wrong mirror. Like 100%. But he seems to be going for Gungnir.
And how is that better?
Maybe he's going to try just get some damage in as soon as possible.
push through with Gungnir.
Yeah, so here's the Shurret. There's the Gungnir. And the only card that he has is Exa. I'm unsure as to why he decided to do that there and then.
Because he still does have some time. It's not just this turn.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's damage juggler on the
Direct hit.
on the direct hit from the Valkyris. So he goes down to 4,100 life points here.
But if Piran can fight back, that might be more than enough.
Yep.
And speaking of fighting back, let's take a look at his hand.
Yeah, and Matteo does have Draw and Lockbird left in his hand, which is quite scary. Because he can just play Draw and Lockbird after the first search that Piran makes, and then that's it. He's done and dusted for that turn searching. Oh, okay. You can just draw Regeki. That's pretty good.
I think he had it already.
Did he?
I think so, yeah. I think we just looked at it.
Did he? Oh, okay. I'm just being blind.
It's okay. Did he just read Raigeki just to make sure?
What does this do?
Yeah. Okay, that's the gigantic strike of lightning that wipes the field of Matteo. So all that attack basically for nothing.
Yeah. So I don't know. He's probably just going to play Droll and Lockbird when this adds cards to his hand just to try and stop him from doing any more moves, to be honest.
Yeah. And Matteo is completely out of cards. He's left with one Droll and Lockbird in hand, and that is it.
Yeah.
Whereas Piran's got Nekroz of Unicorn, yeah, performance trick
with more incoming.
Yeah. So yeah, he's just now he's on to a search. Is there even a way out of this for Matteo? Can he fight out of this?
Well, this is the last turn of time.
Is it already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he was basically putting everything on one card, hoping that he could get this attack through.
So there's the Droll and Lockbird.
Okay, so no more searching.
Does he play Star Eater? But that's not going to affect this here because he's going to be able to do. Oh no, he's got this. He's got this. He can play Kaleidoscope, send Herald of the Arclight, summon the Unicorn, swing for 3/7, overlay into Cowboy in main phase 2.
That's definitely one line of play we've seen a couple of times. The question is, does Piran Asci, is he going to be able to identify that same line of plays?
I hope so.
It looks like it. Yeah, this seems fairly obvious, I guess.
Yes. So
And
3/7.
So here's the Unicorn, here's the Manju. 2 attacks are going to be next. In case you're wondering, why is he not going to search for some more? That is the effect of the Droll and Lockbird.
Yeah.
And now the question is, do you have Gagaga Cowboy in your extra deck? And some people, we've actually seen this, some guys did not play Cowboy this weekend because they simply couldn't find the space.
He does.
But yeah, Piran does.
There we go. Is he going to throw it on the board?
So 4-1.
Loading
for
up the
Piran,
guns.
4-3 for Matteo. He only needs to do 201 more point of damage. There's Gagaga Cowboy, of course, in defense position. That allows him to detach one material, shooting from the hip, 800 directly. And
Make sure I detach the right card.
yeah, but let's not forget, Matteo does have another turn.
Yep.
So this is it for Piran, and he's ahead, and he's got a monster defense position. All of that is cute, but Matteo does have another turn. But is there a one card out of this situation?
Preparation of rights.
Okay, and that's it?
There's probably much more. He could probably draw a Manju Senju. He can draw. He's putting his hand on his deck and praying to the heart of the cards. Yugi, please guide me.
This is the destiny draw, and he checks the graveyard.
No, he has. He's got plays here. He totally has plays.
Oh my god! Okay, so he's in this.
No, in fact, yeah, he totally has plays altogether because he can banish Exa and the Mirror to go get Nekroz Cycle. Nekroz Cycle, the Accessory revive the Shurret. Use Nekroz Cycle to tribute Shurret to get Bryanak back from the graveyard. Use Bryanak's effect to bounce the Gagaga Cowboy and then attack for 2/3.
I hope you guys are following. So
Okay, here we go.
is-
So he's going to Great Cycle. There we go. That's the cycle. He's going to use X's effect to get the shirt.
And how likely is it that he's gonna mess up here?
There's not a lot going on.
No chance in the Burning Abyss that he's gonna mess this up.
I really hope not. We can't see what he's banishing either. With like, I'm literally sat on the edge of my seat here.
Yeah, again, the question is, okay, he's got this if he only plays it right.
Yeah.
There's a Nekroz mirror.
Nekroz mirror, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Wow, what
unless I just don't realize that he doesn't have a Bryanak in the grave, I'm pretty sure he's okay. There, yep, there's the Shurit. Necros cycle.
So
Because Bryanak is in there, right?
so far so good.
Yeah.
Um,
We're making it. We're doing it. He's in business here. There is Bryanak. Bryanak is definitely in that graveyard.
and this would be the time when Piran needs to cast his Spell of Confusion
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
to make his opponent forget about what he has or something.
That works too. That totally works as well.
Well, so now we got a Gungni on the field.
Yeah. So he can discard something to.
It seems to
Yeah,
be...
or he's going to play Trishula. Yeah, I guess he needs to play Trishula to play around Valkyrus as well. So even though he has no Valkyrus, we
Yeah.
can see that.
Piran doesn't have a
I guess.
Valkyrus.
There we
And
go.
Yeah, Piran, wow. What a back and forth. What a trading of blows between those two.
Wow.
Do you think that when Matteo went all in and he was like giving Piran an out in Raigeki or any other effect that would wipe his field, he was thinking that far ahead that he was like, okay, he can go for a cowboy play, but then I'm still going to come back.
Yeah, that was.
Do you think he was thinking that far ahead?
I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna have to just take a look here and see to reevaluate this entire game. It was so long, and just wow.
Wow, that was an
some
exciting match.
serious
Yeah,
pendulum swings going on here between the players here.
yeah. Talk about the not that exciting Nekroz mirror match. That was everything but boring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was so intense.
Yeah, and you can see
See
Piran
Piran
is
his-
going through the moves that happen in this match, and he's thinking, is there anything where I could have played differently? Did I mess
Yeah.
up at some point? And wow, there was a lot of decision making involved.
Yeah, there was a lot of mind games during that as well. It was really hard to keep up with all of the branches that they could have taken here.
Yeah, but
Really was.
congratulations to Matteo Vernizzi, who has now kicked out Joshua Schmidt, former YCS champion, and Piran Asci, who has been like in the top 8 twice at least, maybe 3 times, something like that.
Yeah.
He's been in the top 64, like 4 or 5 times, something like that. We cannot do an interview because all the other matches have concluded already, and everybody is just waiting for us, basically, which is a good sign for you guys, because that means that we can very soon continue with the top 8. Chances are Matteo needs a short break after this to gain his composure again.
Yeah.
Composure again. And so with that being said, we're going to go and check with the deck check team what other decks we have in the top 8 besides Nekroz. We know for a fact that we got Peter Gross and Cosmo in the top 8.
Yeah.
So the very high chance that we're going to feature this next round.
Yeah.
With that, we're going to go take a short break, and then we're going to be back with the top 8 of YCS Rimini.
Synchron Extreme!